Hey, we wanted to give an update on how things are going with select basketball. It is Thursday, March 28th, and we have just finalized the rosters for all of our teams. We wanted to thank everybody for trying out. We know it's been a long process and really appreciate your patience as you waited. At this point, if you have not received an invitation, unfortunately, it means we weren't able to get a roster spot for you. But please stay in touch with us. New opportunities are coming up all the time, and if something does, we may be reaching out. But for the time being, rosters are set, and if you were invited at this point, you should have heard from your coach. If you haven't, please let me know or send us an email, and we will make sure that the coach has touch base with your son. Coming up, we have our mini camp. This is going to be a really great chance for all the teams to practice in Meridian. It's 2 days. It'll be Friday and Friday afternoon, evening, and then Saturday. Everybody will be done by 2 o'clock. Make sure you check your email because details on which teams are practicing at what time and their location. With this many teams, we definitely had to be smart strategically about where we put everybody and when we put them. So check your email. It'll have it broken out by date, time, and location, and then each team and where they practice. Please keep in mind that everybody's going to be doing headshots. So while you're there at your practice, we will figure out a time to get headshots of every player. That's one too, where it's in the email, and it'll let you know what time. For the most part, it's going to work right in there with your practice times. Should be very efficient. We'll have jerseys for you to wear, and we'll have everything set up. So you don't need to worry too much about it. Just be prepared that that is coming. Let's see here. Going through my notes. We did update more hotel information, so we now have flights not just out of Boise, but also Bozeman and Salt Lake. So if you're looking for flights that you want to match your son up with our coaches, those will give you the flight information and also the times that they're leaving, where they're heading, layovers, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of information there. But if you are looking for a way to match up your son's flight with the coaches, head to the website and that link in the email we sent you, and it'll have all that information. We also have hotel information on there, and one note on that is that in Centralia, with the large number of teams going to that specific tournament, we did have to do two different hotels. So be sure to check your email for details on who is staying where. The 17U, 16U, and 15U teams will all be staying at one hotel. The 13U and 14U teams, including Coach Miles Williams' 14U team, will be staying at the other hotel. They're very close. They're right down the road from each other. They're real nice. We just had to do that because of the volume of players that we had. Let's see, as far as schedules and games are concerned, the reality is, since we don't control any of the schedules other than the NPI, we really can't tell you exactly when things are going to start and end. The schedules generally will come out the week of the tournament. The Next Pro does a good job. Sometimes they actually do come out earlier than that, but you'll want to have your flights all taken care of before then. So if you are using our coaches' flights as a guideline, you'll notice that we always try to fly out Sunday evening. We generally always have games on Sunday, so plan accordingly. You don't want to fly out too early, end up having to miss a game because you have to get to the airport. So we say try to fly out Sunday evening if you can, and you'll be safe that way. And then flying in, again, this information is in the email that we sent, but for several of the tournaments, we are going to be practicing Friday morning, so you'll want to fly in Thursday night. We will have hotel rooms set up for the kids on Thursday nights at those specific tournaments. So make sure you understand that information. If you have questions, let us know. One thing that everybody's going to have to, I take that back. One thing that every 15U, 16U, 17U team is going to have to do, and that includes Coach Miles Williams' team, is go through the BBCS certification system. It's the basketball certification system. This is what the NCAA uses to make sure that players are eligible to play and are playing on teams that are within their region. If you've already done this, you you get it. Like there's a process to it, but if you've already done it, all you need to do is go and use the account you've already created. Do not create a new account. Make sure you go in and log into the account you already have. If you can't remember your login or password, there should be a way on there on the BBCS website to get that information. But get in there, and then the process basically goes: you set up your profile, you make sure that all information on there is correct. Once you do that, then you will, let's see, you go through, you're going to send an email to RC. His email address is in the email we sent you. Just send him an email, just says, hey, my son or my player's name is this, and we have completed everything on there. At that point, he will then send you an invitation to join our bench, and you need to accept that invitation. And when you do that, we can add you to our rosters for the NCAA, and we will be official and they will be eligible, and it's great. So the 13 and 14-year-old teams, you don't have to worry about that, but if you're playing at a 15, 16, or 17-year level, that's where the NCAA live periods happen, and so you have to fill that out and get that completed. So if you have questions, let RC know. He can definitely help you with that. But in the email that we sent, there are examples, screenshots, videos that show you how to do the whole thing. It's usually pretty straightforward. It's just something we got to make sure we do. One reminder is that we do have workouts. We will be working out on Wednesdays, and then starting April 6th, we'll also have workouts on Saturdays. The times and locations are in the email you sent you. I'm not going to put it out on a public forum, but if you check those emails, that information will be in there. And obviously, these are more local, so if you don't live in the Treasure Valley, obviously you're not expected to be there. And even if you do live here and you can't make it, it's okay. These are voluntary. They are very competitive. They are very good for development. So if you can be there, it's a great idea to do so. But if you can't make it, we totally understand. And then the last thing on my list here was in that email, we sent you a player survey. That survey is very helpful for us in terms of creating profiles for us internally that we can use throughout the season, highlight players. As players have good games, we can get this information out there. The reality is that social media is a part of this world that we're in now, and we take that very seriously. We really put some time into it. It's very professional the way we do it. So fill out that survey for us. Be as complete and accurate as you can, and it will go along with the headshots we're going to do. And then throughout the season, you'll start seeing more of that information come out on Instagram and Twitter and any social media platforms that we feel will be beneficial. So please do fill that out. We know that as we start to get going here, there's sometimes some uncertainty. If you've never done this with us before, we totally understand. You're going to invest some time and resources into it, and you want the best experience possible. And from talking to Clint, who's our director, he acknowledged that, and he just wanted, just to recognize, first of all, we know there's a lot of questions, things about rosters and coaches and what's my role going to be on the team. And we understand that this is very typical this time of year. The best advice he could give was really that you need to trust our staff and the hours and hours that we put into evaluating the players and having discussions about what rosters they should be on, and know that we're going to do the best we can to get them on the best roster with the best coach and the best roles so that they are going to be able to develop and have a great experience. And I know right now that takes a lot of trust because you haven't seen anything yet, especially for those that haven't been in select before. But you're just going to have to trust that as our coaches practice with the players more and the coaches get through a couple of tournaments and some game situations, they're going to be able to adjust and make some changes. So stick with us. We're very professional when it comes to how we do this stuff, but there is a certain amount of trust we're going to have to ask you for initially to get through it. With that, looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend at our mini camp. It's going to be a great time, and obviously keep your eyes open for any additional emails that come your way because they have a lot of information, but it's good stuff and it's stuff you're going to want to know. With that, we'll see you real soon.